Alrighty, we are here today with another unboxing because that seems to be really all I do anymore is unboxing and reviews. I do have a couple more podcasts planned that are not either of those item things, but right now that is what we are focusing on. Those are what people seem to enjoy most, and so that's what I keep doing. Today we are working with some new equipment. I have a new web camera and a new microphone. I'm hoping it works out well. I've been playing with it and trying to get it to work, so I think it's working now. But anyway, today we are doing an unboxing. I don't want to say what it is quite yet, but I'm going to explain a little bit why we are doing this unboxing because it's not really a typical item that I do. So I'm going to give you a little backstory about why we're doing this unboxing. So in 1996, I was 10 years old, and in the mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, American Girl dolls were like the thing. Everybody wanted one or had one. Everybody read the books. The movies started, I think, in the early 2000s. I remember my sister was like 2, and I made her watch it, and she didn't really understand because she was like 2, but I made her watch it anyway. But anyway, I spent most of 1996 saving up for a Kirsten doll. I was 10, and my parents said it was too expensive. They weren't going to buy it for me. It cost, and I was one of those kids who had the catalog memorized and knew like everything. I even made it in the paper about this, okay? My American Girl Club, they got interviewed, and I was actually one of the few that actually made it into the paper. Probably because I could not shut up about the dolls and the books and everything else. And so, anyway, I had it memorized. It came to $91.45, which when you're 10, that's a lot of money. That's still a lot of money today, to be honest. I don't typically spend that kind of money on a single item, and I spent more than that today. But, so my parents gave me $20 toward Kirsten. That's the one I wanted. I spent most of these 6 months, I spent 6 or 8 months saving up for the doll. So, debating which one I wanted. Ultimately, I did go with Kirsten because at the time, that's what I looked like. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and she was my favorite because I was very into the whole Oregon Trail pioneer sort of thing at the time. And that's what Kirsten was. I mean, she wasn't Oregon Trail. She moved from Sweden to Minnesota, but it was kind of the same idea. If you have not read the books, I really do think you should. And I'm not actually sure which ones are still available, to be honest. They have changed so much in the past 25 years. But yes, I did spend 6 or 8 months saving up for it in 1996. My parents gave me $20 toward her. And my grandfather told me if I saved up the money, all $91, well, actually, I only had to save about 70, but when you're 10, that's a lot of money. He would buy me the accessory kit because, of course, they don't come with the accessories. The little purse and the hat and the things like that. If you want those, you got to pay extra. But I did it. I spent a lot of time saving up for that doll, and I finally did it. And I remember in August of 96, I realized I had enough money, and my mom called the Pleasant Company because that's how you ordered things in those days. You either called the company or you put a money order or a check in an envelope with your order form and you mailed it to the company. Boy, does that make me seem old, doesn't it? but that is how it worked back then. And yeah, internet was like dial-up if you were lucky enough to have it, which we didn't. But, that's how it was. You couldn't actually order a lot online in those days, I don't think. I don't think you could. I don't remember. We didn't have internet yet in my house. So my mother called them, and I recall she paid for 2-day shipping, which I really wish I had done this time, but I didn't. So I think she did it partly to make me shut up because it's like all I talked about for a year. I mean, we went to Iowa to visit my grandparents, and I took the catalog with me and would talk about it to anyone who would listen. So I think that probably, I'm making sure and make sure it doesn't lose it. So I think that probably annoyed people, but that's who I was, and I didn't really care because that was something that meant a lot to me. And in the years since, I no longer have the Kirsten doll. And quite honestly, that is one of my regrets, that I don't have that doll anymore. And when American Girl announced, and I'm not really sure how I get the Facebook announcements, to be honest, but I do. They announced they were coming out with 35th anniversary of American Girl. They are coming out the original dolls, which, FYI, people, Josefina and Addie were not the original dolls. I'm sorry, because I remember when they both came out. But anyway, they are coming out and have with the 35th anniversary of the original 6. And I decided, after a little bit of like a day of debate, to order Kirsten again. And she cost a great deal more than she did then, but I did it anyway. And so that is what we are going to unbox. We are going to unbox the 35th anniversary doll of Kirsten. According to the website, she even comes with the head string that the original dolls did. I guess they don't anymore. I don't know. I mean, my sisters are teenagers now. They don't buy these dolls anymore. But anyway, I have Kirsten to unbox. Excuse me. And I'm super excited. And I'm really looking forward to doing this. So, it took longer shipping than I had hoped for. It took like 6 days to get from Wisconsin to Georgia. And then like another 3 days to get from Georgia to Florida. So I was really kind of not happy with the shipping experience. I don't think it was necessarily their fault, but just the state of how shipping is currently. So I kind of wish I had paid the extra $15 for faster shipping, because I really wanted it for my birthday yesterday. But okay, I did what I did. And I was already spending so much money. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Okay, I'm not good at spending money, okay? And anyway, anyone who watches my podcast will probably tell me otherwise, because I seem to do a lot of unboxings, don't I? Anyway, so we are going to unbox the doll. And as soon as I figure out how to do this. Alright, so here we go. Here we go. This she is. Now that's a little bit different than I remember the original dolls coming. The original dolls came in long white boxes. This one, as you can see, is red. And that is the original colors of the Pleasant Company. I don't think it's still those colors anymore. I don't know. Like I said, it's been many, many years. I don't recall them coming in a box like this where you could see the doll. They came in like a long, well, coffin type box, to be honest. I actually knew people who kept them in those boxes. They didn't play with them. And no, my dolls were played with. I did have Kirsten. I also had Addie and a girl of today and Josefina. I don't think they're called girls of today anymore. I'm not sure what they're called anymore. But that's what they were called in the late 90s, and we're going with it. Anyway, we're not talking about that. Okay. This is Kirsten, and I'm very excited. I kind of wish I had the original one to compare them to see what the differences might be. And I imagine there's probably going to be YouTubers who do that. But I can't do that because I don't have the doll anymore, and that's why I ordered it. Yay! Alright, so here we go. We are going to lift off the box. Yeah, the original boxes, I recall, they were not lift off the top. They folded over. That's why I kind of refer to them like coffins. They were kind of like checkbooks, if anybody remembers checkbooks. I remember checkbooks. I used to use them for my Barbie dolls. Little beds. Alright. So she comes with the original book, the first one, which is what they all came with back then. But you could actually, when you called the company to place your order, you could actually ask for different books if you already had the first one. Which I did. I don't recall if I asked for a different one at the time. Okay. Just making sure that my camera's not going out on me. Okay. Then you get the little accessory kit. Let's start with that, I guess. Now, unlike the original dolls, this one comes with all the extras. I don't think you can buy any of the other outfits right now. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. I never actually had most of the original outfits. My grandmother would make them for me. And she would literally take what's that thing? Not like a microscope to the catalog, and she'd make things. All right, so here is her necklace, her little amber necklace, and her little wooden spoon, and her little I'm dropping things, little pocket, and her little handkerchief. But you know what? I don't remember if the original one came with a handkerchief, to be honest. I mean, I guess she did. They put it in the anniversary one if it didn't. But yeah, I remember she came with a spoon, because in those days, each family only had enough silverware for themselves. So whenever you went to visit people, you'd bring your own, which is why she'd bring her own. And then I'll put the necklace on her. As I recall, I actually did lose the original necklace fairly quickly, and I ended up making another one out of like a little gold bead or something, because as much as I loved Kirsten and my other dolls, I was kind of a forgetful person. I still am. Okay. Oh, it comes with a little 35-year booklet. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, it shows you each of the dolls, and I am like really highly tempted to purchase Samantha, because they said if you spent $150, you got a $20 credit. I'm kind of tempted to buy Samantha. I never had Samantha. I don't need Samantha, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so now we are getting ready to pull the beautiful dolly out of her box. Well, first we're actually going to get her book. And this is the original Meet Kirsten book that was published in 1986. And I guess I could put my name in it like a little child. Mine did actually have my names in them. My name in it, each one. I had them all. And they did have my name in them. I did have this one years ago. I had the whole set of Kirsten's. But I do like they give you the original ones, because they don't publish them like this anymore. You know, back then, each one was like, Meet Kirsten, Meet Samantha, and then it was like, Kirsten learns a lesson. Let's see, the third one was a holiday story, like Merry Christmas, Kirsten, or something like that. Then would be Happy Birthday, Kirsten. Then there's the last one, each series was always called Changes for Kirsten, or Changes for Molly, Changes for Samantha, whatever. There were 6 in each series, and I know at one point they also did like a little spin-off series with like mysteries or little small stories, and I had a few of those, but not as many. I didn't like them as much as the original stories. Those came out, I think, after Mattel bought Pleasant Company. I could be wrong about that. And then, they taped her apron. Not her apron. Oh, this is her bonnet. That's what it is. They taped her bonnet to the box. Took a minute to pull it out there. And it's not a very thick apron. Well, apron. I keep calling it an apron. It's a little bonnet. Yeah. And I'm going to put all these little accessories on her. Yes, because I am a child. Not really. All right. Time for the moment of truth. Pulling Kirsten out. Can't. Man, that's new. They didn't sucker them in last time. Alright. I had scissors just a minute ago. Scissors. I don't even know where I got these scissors. I think I got them in a swap years ago. But they're like the handiest little scissors ever. Alright. Oh my gosh. The fan's pushing my hair in my eyes. My mouth. Look at that. Let me see if I can show y'all. They have her ankles all wrapped in foam. And her hands too. I do not recall that from the first time. Okay. Let me pull these out. Trying to be careful not to cut her clothes. I don't want to cut her clothes. Okay. Got it. Alright. Now we need to do her little ankles. Word of warning, if you're giving these as a gift, especially to a younger child, you might want to make sure that it's all cut out first. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you want to watch them suffer. I don't know. Oh, I gotta do her head. Oh my gosh. They really got her in there good. Trying to make sure I don't cut the doll's head off. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely if you're going to give this to a child, I definitely recommend opening it first and undoing it all. I would definitely do that if I were giving this to a child. Oh, okay. That one you can just pull off. Okay. I'm sure the recycle people are like, how much stuff does she buy? Okay, look how beautiful she is. Now, I will say, I remember her braids being more of a loop. I could be wrong about that. It could just be that, thinking 25 years ago. But I do think her braids were different then. And one thing I did notice even then that I didn't like, because her hair is divided into the braids, it's always like a little shorter right there. That's how they make the wigs, I guess. But, oh, she's so pretty. I'm going to take off the little protective things. I don't know why they did that, to be honest. I mean, it's a doll. They're not breakable. I mean, they are, because they're just toys, but they're not highly breakable. They're just vinyl. They're not porcelain. I was a big porcelain doll collector back then too. And then you got more. All right, I'm going to get the scissors for those two. I don't want to rip it off. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I would be careful cutting the foam off her feet. You don't want to cut her shoes or her stockings, because the shoes are just they're fake leather, but they're more like little cloth shoes. They were that then too. Okay, so here you are. You got Kirsten. She comes with her little apron already, which is to protect her little dress. And oh look, I recall this in the original as well. They would make the dresses with 2 layers so they could pull them out as the girls grew. Oh, this is new. This is new. They have a little pin, like a button that says American Girl on the bottom of her dress. I do not recall that from the first time. But again, I could be remembering wrong. Then you got her little pantaloons, which are a little too long for accuracy, but okay. Okay. Then you got her little brown and gray striped stockings. Now, these are just socks. They don't really sell tights for the dolls. As I recall, they just did long socks. To be fair, putting tights on a doll would be kind of difficult. And then they have the shoes, which, like I said, while they are supposed to be like leather, they're really more like little moccasins than boots. But then, of course, you can put all the stuff on her. I gotta clear off an area to I'll put her somewhere. She'll look real interesting next to all the Star Wars and Marvel, right? Well, it doesn't want to go over her braids. Well, you're gonna go over her braids. That's how it works, honey. Ugh. Does not want to go over the braids. Okay, we'll just do it like that, I guess. Or not. Okay. Doesn't want to go over her braids. We'll figure it out. But yeah, the bonnet goes on the head. And then you can, of course, take her little pocket. That is what it literally is, a little pocket. And tie it around her waist. Okay. There. And then she has her little spoon and her little handkerchief with her. And I think that's everything except for her little bonnet, which doesn't seem to want to go over her braids. But I'll figure that out when but yeah, I'm very happy. I have Kirsten again. Alright, so did you have any American Girl dolls? Do you still have them? And are you going to get any of the 35th anniversary dolls? I'm highly tempted to buy Samantha. I don't need her, but maybe. And then, oh, look at that. Or is it already a little moosed up from trying to put the bonnet on? Which I'll figure out later. Alright. So, let me know. What do you think of Kirsten? Did you have any of them? Did you want any of them? Because I know I certainly wanted more than I had. Did you read the books? I think I'm going to read the book again. Even though I remember it quite well, I think I'm going to read it again anyway. Which is kind of odd. I haven't read it in probably a good 20 years and I still remember it. But okay. Yeah, that's it. This is our unboxing for the day. Like I said, it's a little different than we usually do because, you know, I focus on the geek. But American Girl was my first fandom, I suppose. Even though I didn't really know the word fandom existed back then. But there we are. Thank you and have a good day and let me know what you think.